So hi Denzel, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your time at Plymouth Raiders?
All right, so as you said, I play for the Plymouth Raiders. I'm entering my 4th season with them. I also go to Marjon University as well, studying sports therapy, which are in conjunction with the Plymouth Raiders as well. So that's just a little bit about me.
Awesome. And how do you, what we're looking at today, we're interested in how you use your math skills day to day as a basketball player, but also within your degree and the different things that you mentioned there.
Yeah. So with basketball, it's a bit funny because maths is used quite a lot without even me realizing. But in some situations, I guess we just looking at the scoreboard for a simple example, if we're down 5 points, just kind of figuring out, okay, what's the best way to, score and try and climb ourselves back up. And also in the playoffs, we also go through aggregate. So if we're down 12 points in a previous game, we got to kind of figure out, okay, cool, with how quickly and what's the best scenario we can get ourselves in to where we can be up comfortably by a certain amount. And so we can do that through, I guess, just different scouting reports and just kind of the numbers game of it, just adding out which points to accumulate through different quarters, just kind of a little bit like that, really. Yeah.
What's hello. What's your position in the basketball team?
Yeah, I play shooting guard.
So
yeah, I play shooting guard. So
what does that mean? Sorry, just for non-basketball people.
All right. So I guess you could say more the quicker players on the court usually kind of shoots beyond the 3-point line, kind of steps out, shoots further. Also, almost like the coach on the court as well, kind of organizes the team, sets up the team as well.
So do you dictate a bit of the pace of the game? And so if you look up, you've got the ball, when you look up and there's, say, 4 defenders and only you, do you then slow the game down?
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of the times, with basketball, anyone can handle the, usually the point guards and shooting guards are the primary ball handlers. So yeah, if there's an instance where I end up grabbing the ball from the rim and I'm speeding down the court, sometimes I have to slow it down because I can see it's 4 against 1 or 2 of us and 4 of them. So it's just kind of, gaining that advantage as well. But then there's other times where it'll be an advantage in our behalf. So it'll be a 3-on-2 fast break. So 3 players attacking their 2 defenders. So it's just trying to figure out the right angles, the right passes to make as well, to just try and get the easy score.
I've done a little bit on research on basketball earlier, and there's a 24-second rule, an 8-second rule, a 5-second rule, and a 3-second rule. Yeah. Do you have all of those going through your head at the same time?
Yeah, it's actually funny when you say it out loud. It's like, okay, there's a lot of rules and numbers, but yeah, all of during games. A lot of it as well is kind of just, we'll simulate game situations in practice as well. So we'll have a scoreboard going on and we'll say, okay, guys, 14-second shot clock, just starting from the first half of the floor. And then we'll just kind of just go through there so we can just kind of quickly work on our speed and pace through games and stuff. But in game situations, yeah, a lot of those things do go through my mind as well. So I kind of have a feel of, okay, if we're bringing the ball up a little bit longer in the backcourt, and probably took us about 5 seconds or so, okay, I can know there's about 17, 18 seconds when we cross the half. So we kind of have to play a little bit quicker, or if we get the ball quicker over the half, then I know we have about roughly 19 seconds. So, yeah.
Cool. And then I was also looking, because all of your stats are online. So I was having a look at those, and each year they've been getting progressively better. So each year you've had an improvement in your stats. Is that something you look at in pre-season and go, right, that's my target, and set yourself targets to do each game?
Yeah. So during the preseason, I usually just kind of set myself targets, just like, okay, in points, let me just try and accumulate a little bit more points for the next season, rebounds, assists as well. And my big focus was on my 3-point percentage, because looking at the better players in like the NBA and the bigger leagues, like the best shooters in those leagues, they average about 38 to 40%. And it's funny because I just have to make less than half of the shots I take, really. But for them, that's £2 million and £50 million difference, which is funny.
Right.
So a big thing of mine is to really just increase my 3-point percentage and just try and get that better and better, improve, really.
And then there's one other bit of my research. So when was it? The 1st of January 2020 was your highest scoring points game. Is that right?
I guess so, yeah.
You got 17 points in the one game. Do you remember how many 3 points you got in that game? I was just curious.
That might have been against Surrey, I'd like to say. It was just the one, actually. I think I just took 1 3-pointer in that game, yeah. I think so, yeah. Just the one. Yeah, can't remember. Yeah, with some games, it's just like if the 3-pointer is there to take it. If not, then, you know, find another way to score. Usually I'm quite athletic and fast, and I like to get easy layups and scores around the rim and close to the rim. So I kind of use that in my advantage, really. But yeah, sometimes there are games where teams do scouts and they're just saying, okay, Denzel's quite a quicker player, maybe step back off, you know, a certain amount of feet. And then that's when I could just see my opportunity, like, okay, I have a little bit more space, time, I can be composed, shoot the 3. But yeah, I think that game I only did shoot 1 3.
I was just curious.
Awesome, thank you, Denzel. Oh, sorry.
I've got one more question. Sorry,
Yeah.
I just thought of another one.
No, go for it.
Say before, there's a lot of, what did you say you're studying at Marjon, sorry? The course? Sports, sorry, I missed the last bit.
Sports therapy.
Sports therapy.
Yeah.
So within the game, so you're looking at a bit, maybe recovery, rehabilitation, so those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Does nutrition come into that, or your training? So before a game, it's like, right, I'm going to eat this amount of food, and that means I'm going to be optimum for that, and then I'm going to do this to recover.
With sports, we're not allowed to kind of focus on the nutritional part for it. I guess that's just our qualification. I'd agree it doesn't allow us to. But just from my own personal research, like going into basketball games and practices for myself, I do research on just types of foods and like the calorific intake. I think that's the correct word to use. Yeah, calorific intake, in terms of like how quickly it digests and like kind of how long it roughly will take you throughout the day, and usually just kind of how I feel as well. So it's a bit of an experimental aspect of that. But in terms of, for example, with me, I find that pasta kind of takes me quite a long way throughout the days. For roughly about 2 hours, I'll be quite energized and just ready to like practice train for 2 hours as such. And then before games, usually I don't want to feel so heavy, so it might just be probably just like chicken and rice, just something nice like that, really. But yeah, nutrition does have a big impact in like basketball and really preparing for games and practices. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Denzel. It's incredible to hear how much math is involved within basketball and as a player. And like you said, and even down to your nutrition and your diet and monitoring those things. So do you feel that your math skills has helped you to become a better player? Do you think it's important to build those skills?
Definitely. It's definitely important to build those skills. Especially, I guess, because so many things are just at a fast pace in basketball and practices and games. It makes it a little bit easier when you can break it down to numbers and just figure out, okay, cool, like we have an advantage, 3 of us against their 2, or just try and figure out just different angles within different situations, because basketball is really big on angles that many people may not even realize. But like the easiest pass to get to a player, or some passes someone might not see, that's there. You might have to swing the ball over to them, and then they can see a different angle and pass to make. And also even sometimes with like shooting the basketball as well. So my shot tends to be quite flat, so I just have to understand like, okay, increase a little bit more power, a higher trajectory. So if you're seeing a basketball hoop like this, it's quite harder to get something in. But if the ball sees that, it's a little bit easier to get, and it's a bigger target, really. So yeah, just all those things just go through my head without even me realizing sometimes. But yeah. So maths is really big, really big thing.
Fantastic. Thank you, Denzel.